department at Community College of Philadelphia, where I'm also the faculty advisor at the Spoken Word Poetry Club, and I'm also the founder, creator, and host of a television spoken word competition at Community College of Philadelphia called Drop Your Mic. And we are a two-time Emmy-nominated show. We are in our third season right now, so we're very, very excited about that. I'm also an assistant adjunct professor in the Asian Studies program at Temple University, where I teach such courses as Asian American experiences, Asian American lives, Asian American literature, and representing race, focusing on representations of Asian and Asian Americans. And so that's my work as an educator. As far as my work as an activist, I've done a lot of work all around the country around various issues. I've done a lot of work in terms of raising awareness as well as fundraising, raising money for human trafficking and sexual slavery, and also anti-Asian violence and police brutality. Okay? So the next poem that I'm going to perform for you is about police brutality, and specifically it's about police brutality in Asian American communities. Some people think that one of the most harmful stereotypes about Asian American people is the model minority myth. And it's the idea that Asian and Asian Americans don't have it bad. Okay? They think that all Asians are smart, all Asians are economically well off, all Asians basically have it made in this country, and that's not true. Okay? It lies all of the ways in which there is difference as well as very real social issues going on in Asian American communities. And so this particular poem that I'm going to perform for you is a poem that I wrote for a mother whose son was murdered by a Minneapolis police officer in 2006. The young man's name was Fong Lee. He was a Mankato monkey, and he was shot 8 times in the back by a Minneapolis police officer named Jason Anderson. And even though Jason Anderson claimed that the reason why he killed Fong Lee was because he said that he saw Fong pulling a gun out of his coat pocket, video surveillance, because he killed him behind an elementary school in Minneapolis. And video surveillance, there was a legal expert that testified at the trial, after looking at the video, that Fong Lee did not have a gun in his hand. Even though there was a gun found at the scene, Fong Lee's fingerprints were not on the gun. Okay, he had no gunpowder residue on his clothing, on his person, or anything like that. And even though it was testified at the trial that that gun that was found at the scene was actually the property of the Minneapolis Police Department at the time it was found, Jason Anderson was acquitted of all wrongdoing in Fong Lee's death. That verdict came down in the spring of 2009. And the city of Minneapolis as well as St. Paul erupted in protests at that particular time. And so I have a friend out there who's also a spoken word poet. His name is Bao Fi, and he's an activist. And I had emailed him and said, if you guys are having a fundraiser for the family, I want to come and perform. And so in the fall of 2009, I met Fong Lee's family. I met his mother and his sister, Shua, who was often the spokesperson for the family. And so they tried to appeal, and they also even tried to take it to the Supreme Court, but they were denied at all those appeal levels. So this is a poem that I wrote that comes from the actual conversation that I had with Mrs. Lee, and it's called It's Nothing. And it's dedicated in memory of Fong Lee, but most especially it's dedicated to Mrs. Lee and to Fong Lee's sister Shua. Thank you, you say. When I tell you it's nothing, you say, it's not nothing, it means a lot. And I know I've said the wrong words. Even trying to correct myself, I don't get it right. It's my pleasure, I say. But it's not a pleasure either, because this is all unspeakable, earth-shattering anguish. It's not a pleasure to a mother who has lost a son, to a sister who has lost a brother, and I'm just a poet, trying to make the world a better place, armed with flimsy words that can't stop bullets, and then murder or save your son. And so I say what I am doing is nothing. If only I could do more, but all I can do is this. Stand on stage spitting impotent words of vehemence and justice, and treating strangers child watching birds and chasing pigeons. I wish I could bring him back bulletproof and shielded by force fields when he could walk his always through your front door and sit in family photos and play with nieces and nephews. I wish I could bring you peace so that you can sleep with a quiet mind and so that you're not fearful some cop is waiting around every corner for one of your other children to slip up. Just once, I wish I could help you to feel safe and be happy and to simply live again. I wish I could do more than cry on stage for you, fight for you, be angry for you with these never-lasting words. This is the best that I can do, and this is nothing because it is what I must do to demand something more for you, for us, for Fawn. So do you guys know who Vincent Chin was? Do you guys know? Ever heard of Vincent Chin? Some yes. I see some kind of looking perplexed. Yes, in the back. So Vincent Chin was a Chinese-American man who in 1982 was murdered by two white auto workers who claimed the reason for layoffs in Detroit in the auto industry, when it was layoffs on the Japanese auto industry. And they saw Vincent Chin one night at a bar. He was there, it was his bachelor party, he was getting married in a couple days. And they accosted him, they referred to him by with 8 racial epithets, right? They called him thinking he was Japanese, so they called him, a little Jap or something, and then he responded back, he fought back. And so when he left the bar that night, they followed him, they chased him down, they beat him to death with a baseball bat. And they were acquitted of his murder. And in 1982, that galvanized the Asian American community in Detroit to come together and to really protest against this very clearly racially motivated crime. Okay, that the family of Vincent Chin, his mother in particular religion, never received justice for it. Okay? And so I tell you all this because this is the 35th anniversary of that. Okay? And in 2002, I was in Detroit for the 20th anniversary commemoration of Vincent Chin's death. And while I was there, I wrote this poem. Those of us who were the students from the University of Michigan and some of the other artists and activists who were involved in the remembrance events for Vincent Chin. On the last day of the event, we went to where he was, the cemetery where he was buried. And so that was the year after 9/11. Okay, and there were a lot of things that were going on in the country at that time. And in going to the prayer vigil, it made me want to kind of comment on those things. And so I haven't performed this poem in a really, really long time, but I started to recently because of just the social and political part. And so this poem is called Notes from the Underground. Detroit, June 2002. Remember. I've been using this word a lot lately, but I wonder if I've been using it right. I mean, how do we remember ourselves? Repair our dismembered selves? I hear the Reverend say our speaking is just beginning, but I stand in this cemetery that sees notes from the underground, and I wonder if silence ever really ends. Especially in this Detroit summer swelter where I can't breathe enough to feed the human hunger of this place. But then I dream a breeze waltzes down my body and breathes life into this dirt, singing his notes from the underground. Notes that windsurf on the early summer air until it's just from heartbeats, which time tears of remembrance. And I cry, even though I didn't know him. And I wish I had a private moment to think about the difference between quiet and silence, listening and hearing, feeling and being, seeing and knowing. But all I have is this place that's become my pilgrimage and these people who have become my people. The family of Vincent Chin, my people. The family of Joseph Valeto, my people. The students from the University of Michigan, my people. These poets, musicians, singers, artists, my people. These Christians, these Muslims, these Jews, my people. And I wonder, when did we cease to be a people? At what point does conscience collapse so that we fail to remember ourselves before we swing a baseball bat? Before we squeeze the trigger 41 times? Before we drag black men to their deaths behind trucks down Texas roads? Before we bomb Afghanistan? Before we strap bombs to our bodies and become suicide bombers? Before we rape women in war? Before we abandon war babies? Before we invade Iraq? Before we shoot a 19-year-old Hmong youth 8 times in the back? Before we burn and hang and leave to die a gay man on Wyoming fences? Before we shoot and kill unarmed African American men who have their hands up? Before we stab and murder Muslim women because they're wearing a hijab? Before we dismember ourselves? Because this list could go on and on and on to sever us from language that represents action without conscience. And in this moment, every part of me wants so badly to sing in retaliation and to dismember the moment I remember being on bended knee and turning notes I received from the underground. A clicking noise warns that beheading is coming. The snapshots quickly hunt me down and freeze me with questions just as intrusive as his camera. Why are you here? What is your connection? And I am too stunned by the demand for an answer to put in the words that call it in my heart. So I remember I say simply, I am an Asian American woman. It is important for me to be here. And I remember I spilled my tears onto red and yellow carnations that danced with baby's breath under the June Detroit sun. So I'm going to perform 3 more really short poems. This one's called Detroit Summer. The same event, the Remembrance events, we went to a block party. And so for me, that was the hope to come out with us. And so this is my way of honoring that block party. Hot times in the city, but we're running red lights in search of Detroit summer. And because this whole earth is ours, we finally find it. Why was I worried? All we had to do was listen for the mountains beating in our tears, our sweat, our smiles. Now that was a block party pulsating with people just like us. People who want to nurture gardens of children so they can have love and life and hope. I see one of the little sunflowers now. Yes, a little breath of blooming sun. 3 or 4, she's sporting cool shades and her black purse, almost as big as her, hangs casually on her shoulder. You look very pretty, I say. She smiles at her hands and they say, I know. I see her later with other sunflowers who sprayed each other with garden hose and carried on cans of Diet Cola like secret treasure. They marked their territory with colorful concrete flowers and chalk rainbows first with Smile, I Love You by Adrian McLean, my block, my home, my life. But this is not just a place for the young. A toothless old head steps up to the mic and sings, Sings I lost my baby. Who? Sings I lost my baby. What? He pauses. Oh man, I forgot the words. Sits down waiting for some heckler to laugh, but it's all good and it feels good. And I wish I could drink these moments as satisfied I'll never know thirst again after such fulfillment. But we're just listening in search of a place to wash tired souls, whether it be on city blocks, dirt houses, at lonely hotels, in Birch Jazz Bar, and maybe, just maybe, we can scrapbook moments of Kevin So saying, by the way, how's your father? Is your mama alright? I was hanging out with my family, just the other night. And hope the next time we all get together, we remember our hot times in the city, and the cleansing laughter of sunflower children blooming beautiful in Detroit. fight. They don't help the other women compromise our integrity through mutilating Asian cultural fantasy. Some will be your China doll, your mommy with sent eyes, body tattooed with Asian calligraphy. Others hold their own Asian fashion exotic from India to China, spending millions on images of Asian female sexuality. Should we take this imitation, some say imitation is a form of flattery. Should we take this cultural chicanery? I say, while they beat off on our sexuality, well, personally, I feel this way. Let's untie our tongues and say, fuck you, and fuck you too, because I'm a woman, not a flavor. I'm a woman, not a flavor, not the flavor of a woman. I'll knock the taste out your motherfucking mouth if I don't like your behavior. I'm not a flavor, I'm a woman. So I don't know if you're expecting to be cussed at so early in the evening. But I hope you enjoyed the poetry. I hope you learned something. Okay? This is my last poem. It's called Ancestor Worship. I wrote this poem to honor my Korean ancestors. And when I honor my ancestors, I also honor yours. And the last thing I'll say before I perform this poem is one of the things that I think that we take for granted sometimes, like all of us do, even myself, we don't think about is what a miracle it is for us to be alive today. We would not weren't for our ancestors. We had to have an ancestor that lived 100 years ago. We had to have an ancestor that lived 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago, in order for us to be here on the earth today. Every day we walk beside our ancestors. So every once in a while, this is ancestor worship. I am lifetimes infinite, billion strong. I learned this song from the ancestral drum who did me dance double helix. Feel this, those genetic hurricanes in my veins, gain perpetuity like a pair of cranes. Creating symbol of longevity, their bodies and spirits don't weigh heavy on me. I am who I am because of many young grandfather, one of the ancestor, who the two prepare my destiny or my harmony. Shinde Sun, I don't need a reason. There's always a celebration, access to season. Season me Korean, nothing else I'd rather be in. This lifetime is my time to shine and pave the way for generations next. The journey in pride, express, with its mind, its body, its spirit, fed X from blood to blood. A billion-gallon flow and fam to fam. It's fam eternal through my Korean maternal line. I need to find my space, define my face in this ancestral embrace that is skin tight, but my skin fits me just right. And like the first thing these laws, there's says, there's times when it's on my face, or a trace of this United ancestor. He's melted into my skin because